Hey everybody, welcome to the Lesser Saints Discord, your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints, coming at you every Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Wow.
I'm Jables, and I'm joined with Rimshee. This is turning more into a This Week in Science show, honestly. Just a
Actually, this one's not as much This Week in Science as you'd think. I mean, Don't get me wrong, we have a shit ton of science articles we could go over, but we also have a bunch of articles that are not science related that are just kind of fun. Well, I wouldn't say fun. On some of them, at least.
I would. Yeah, this is a...
You just cut out for some reason.
Oh no, can't have that.
Jables is having so many issues with his ability to talk that it is just not acceptable. Fix your shit, boy.
I'm trying so hard. Is that better? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright.
We only have 3 people. Yeah, there's not much to say in the way of Discord. Try not to yell at each other in the course of normal discussion.
Yeah. If you're having issues with somebody and you want somebody sort of mediated discussion, let us know. Let any of the mods know, really.
Things are a lot more free-form in the powwow. You can request powwow. You can yell at each other in the powwow. Without getting...
may or may not let you.
Yeah.
But...
there's a lot more... There's a lot more give in the powwow.
Yeah. Alright. So, disclaimer for my mom if she's watching. We're starting stuff you don't like, so you might just not want to watch this. Let's talk about some butt stuff.
Butt stuff! Main fade. Hate group founder Rimshee says liking female butts is gateway to homosexuality.
Yeah, I don't know how we got the title of hate group founder, but
This is also Pink News, which, according to this here, is a daily LGBT plus newsletter.
Yeah.
So it's completely unbiased, as you can tell. There is no bias that they have in their reporting at all.
Objective reporting.
Totally
with a name
objective.
Like Pink News. It's not red. It's not white. It's pink.
Totally middle of the road.
Yep. Yeah. The name alone just screams objectivity.
Anyway, Rimshee, the founder of anti-gay hate group Return of Kings, has said that enjoying female butts is a gateway to homosexual activity. The self-described pickup artist, whose real name is... I'm not going to pronounce that. Fuck him. Has been ridiculed for posting a Twitter video on January 27th in which he tells viewers, "I officially declare myself a boob man." Okay.
Wow. Real cursory look at Return of Kings. Looks like Odd Boys, but for MGTOW.
Standard pickup group.
Yeah, pickup artist group.
Not going full MGTOW, but they're just like, fuck women. I am not with them, but I will.
It's full blown MGTOW. Like this first article on their front page of the website is what was it? I just saw it. Is 7 ways modern women treat men like dogs. Yeah, it's just a MGTOW thing.
Gotcha. I'll just continue on with this then. I am now...
Hold on. And they have such other great sites, such other great articles, such as 2 signs to identify a liberal in disguise, which has Dave Rubin as the picture on there.
He's not even a hiding liberal.
35 pretty girls who became fat and ugly.
Okay, we can move on. We get that they're stupid. I also want to talk about, not talk about, but mention some of the articles at the bottom of this page once we get through with this. Anyway, he says, I am now all about the boobs because being a butt man is just a gateway to homosexual activity. Continues the American, whose video has been viewed more than 2.8 million times. Mm-hmm. He proceeds to call anal sex gross, telling his audience, I say no to the back hole. I've never done anal sex in my life. I swear, I've never done it.
Thou dost protest too much.
And then in the pig, this is... What the fuck? It's gross. There's doo-doo in there. Rimshee about anal sex.
I remember the video is available for people to listen to it.
Yeah, we could play that real quick. What the fuck?
No, it's it's in the article.
Declare
just scroll
myself
a little bit.
Yeah,
I
know.
Boob man.
It's a minute 11 seconds. Fuck that. Article link in the description. Anyway, a couple of girls have gently inquired if I wanted to. I said, no way. I know what comes out of that hole, that back hole. 'Cause I got a back hole too, Rimshee added. It's gross. There's doo-doo in there. What? Did you use a plunger or whatever, a scrubber to get the fecal matter out? Fecal matter there? You didn't do that. So why am I gonna put my penis in there, he asks. I'm not stupid. I shower every day. I'm clean. Why would I put my penis in a butt? That's crazy. Well, if I was watching anal sex porn all day, maybe I would do it. But I don't. Rimshee faces backlash from appalled viewers.
Okay, so Rimshee, just put it in a butt. See how you like it. Trust me.
No, wait. Commenters on the video have expressed their shock and hilarity at the views expressed by Rimshee. One tweeted, fellas, is it gay if you're into your girlfriend's butt? I mean, like, guys have butts too. Another said, need to check in with Rimshee every once in a while to test my brain function. If what he says sounds stupid and doesn't make any sense, it's working.
Yeah. This reminds me of that whole debate about how straight porn is gay because there's still a dick in it.
It's a little gay.
Yeah.
It's a gay I can accept. Also, trap porn. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh god, if there's any doubt as to Pink News's leanings, stars you didn't know were gay or bisexual, stars you didn't know have an LGBT sibling, and straight stars who went gay for pay. Anyway, on with the article.
Totally center of the road.
One person wrote, I can't wait to be gay for fucking lady butts. Any day now. Really looking forward to it. While a different user was more concise, simply tweeting, I'm dying! Another commenter admitted, I retweeted this and then realized from the context of the account that he's probably serious, and honestly, that made me laugh even harder, so I'm keeping the retweet. And one tweeter asked other commenters, can you even imagine owning yourself this hard? Can you even imagine it?
Yeah.
Rimshee is listed as an extremist, according to these people. The Southern Poverty Law Center, because we know how completely unbiased they are, has defined...
Yeah, let's give H. Griggs, the person that says the most racist shit in the Discord, a little certificate for his contribution towards tolerance, I think it was.
Oh, whatever it was stupid. But my favorite part about he probably only got it because he's gay. But The Southern Poverty Law Center has defined Rimshee as an extremist who believes in male supremacy. He has previously campaigned on his site to make rape and private property legal, satirically, according to him.
Yeah. That was, I remember that article. That's what really, like, got him to blow up. It was a satire. It was a thought experiment about how to prevent rape and how to have women be more accountable for themselves. That was the whole point of it. Now, was it tasteless? Sure.
Then again, it's extremist, according to the SPLC.
Yeah.
And is described by the SPLC as one of the most public and reviled online misogynists. I don't give them any intellectual.
No, I'll give them. He's a misogynist, sure. I'll give him that.
Yes, biotech babe. All men who like anal are gay.
Why not bisexual?
How's your boyfriend? Biotech? Is he gay? Don't answer that. He acts.
Were you talking to me?
No, biotech babe, because she posted all men who like anal are gay. It changed my mind.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you were asking me.
No.
If my boyfriend's gay, that's a.
I already know your boyfriend's gay. What the fuck? I mean, come on. Have you met Pav?
Ooh.
Oh, I love you, Pav.
He doesn't watch the show. We're fine. We can make fun of him all we want. Now we're gonna get a comment from him.
Oh, I hope so. He acts as a pickup artist, coaching men on how to have sex with women, sometimes regardless of their consent. And the description adds, in 2013, he wrote an article on his site called 10 Reasons Why Heterosexual Men Should Leave America. How about this? You can leave America. I'll enjoy my firearms and freedom, fuckface.
Yeah, I still have to fight that bill about dwarf tossing, so I gotta stay here.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much the only reason I'm still in California.
Because you can still toss dwarves?
No, because you can't in California, but you can, because how am I ever going to move California back to California if everyone who's willing to fight for California leaves? Plus, a lot of the, and this is completely true, I saw someone put into words recently, if you move out of California because of the taxes and all that bullshit, and you try and turn the place you moved to into another California, you're a fucking parasite, and I hope you die. Well, not literally die, but I hope all your plans die on the vine.
Yeah. When you move to a new place,
it's to get away from the bullshit.
You should become a part of that community that already exists.
But that gets into That's why I drink so much. I live in a drinking
community. There's 2 breweries within walking distance of me. Got to.
Without moving forward, because that's just getting too much into immigration policy and all that fun stuff. Don't worry. I'm holding my security rifle.
We're not talking about countries here. No, it still kind of applies, but still.
I said it's too much into immigration, not that it was directly. Anyway. In 2013, what the fuck? In 2013, he wrote an article on his site called 10 Reasons Why Heterosexual Men Should Leave America.
Yeah.
Okay, I did just read that. In the piece, he told readers, I don't care what gay people do in private, but it annoys me to be surrounded by their flamboyant, deviant, and abnormal behavior in public. His group, Return of Kings, is defined as a hate group by the SPLC. You already fucking said that! its website has articles with headlines like "Don't let your girlfriend have homosexual friends" and "When no means yes," or "When her no means yes." What about your no? Because I think "Can I kill you?" followed by you saying no. I think that's a yes. You know, Biotech Babe, that fair, dude is a cunt. Cunt.
Oh, yeah, that dude's a cunt. You know, to be fair, there are some girls out there that will say no, but they want you to try harder. And it's a bitch move.
It's annoying because it gives them the out of, well, I really didn't want it, or he did this thing that was stupid. I can call sexual harassment on him. So it's just not worth saying... It's just not worth trying, in my opinion, at that point. If she says no, everything is skewed against you. Just take the no and be like, alright, you're losing out. Or you're not. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Back when I was hanging out in the men's rights circles and stuff, I looked into Rimshee a lot, and one of the things that he proposes is if they say no, just stop entirely. Just no more making out, nothing. Just stop touching them. Everything. Manipulation tactic to get them to say yes, essentially.
It is, but it's also probably a good idea because because if they say no, they could be like, I said no, and he didn't stop what he was doing.
Yeah. It's good and bad at the same time. It's a weird conundrum.
Yeah, if you're using it to manipulate her, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally support using it to protect your ass.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on from this shit and talk about the CDC.
Real quick, for all the fellas out there, they say no, just leave. Honestly, sometimes it's better to just leave, just in case, especially in the Me Too era.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a joke, but it's not a joke at the same time.
Hell, I had to sit through California mandated biannual sexual harassment training.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. And the lawyer was talking about the Me Too movement, and part of it was transgender rights and use the correct pronouns and all that shit. Apparently in California, if you use the wrong pronoun, that can be considered sexual harassment. Or just general harassment. Yeah. I forget which one it is. I kind of stopped paying attention because it's all bullshit anyway. I mean, some of it is good to know, but but we're in California. How much of it is like legitimately something you need to hear?
Does this mean I need to bring back the bit where I say I'm gender fluid, but I use he/him pronouns, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway?
You know, apparently, when she was doing, because we had a female lawyer running the class, but when she was doing the class for the plumbers and pipe fitters union, there was someone who asked a question of, what if they consider themselves gender fluid? Would me saying him one day and then using him when they identify as a her the next day be considered harassment? How do I know?
Yeah.
See, this is the bullshit that this legal... let's move on. I can go into this and just be pissed off.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think we're in agreement. I've seen Tumblr posts like, my friend made me bracelets so I can wear certain ones when I'm identifying as a certain gender so that anybody can tell.
Except that it's a code that only my friend and I know because she made the bracelets and it's not like it's a universal thing. Oh, blue bracelet means I'm a dude today. Hello, ma'am. Yeah. I'm a dude! How dare you misgender me, you asshole! Did you not see my bracelet? The fuck is up with your
bracelet? It's ma'am. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about CDC, you piece of shit.
Yeah. CDC releases new list of vaccine side effects, including old age, gray hair. They topped the list. Atlanta, Georgia. The CDC released a new and updated list of possible side effects for several popular vaccines today, with both gray hair and old age topping the list. We felt an update was needed as the old list had become fairly outdated, said CDC spokesman Dr. John Greenkey. We all know the common ones like soreness at the injection site, redness, lightheadedness, autism, etc. But it seems not everyone knows that vaccines also cause people to live longer, oftentimes well into old age. Anti-vaccine advocates have long stood by the vaccine insert as proof that vaccines can and do cause all sorts of problems. They now have even more weapons with their arsenal, it would seem. This list of terrible side effects just keeps growing and growing, said quote-unquote Dr. Jim Meehan. So now, they are finally admitting that vaccines can even cause your hair to turn gray, can increase your chances of getting dementia, hearing loss, arthritis. All of those problems come about when people get older, which is exactly what vaccines are doing to people. It seems as though the CDC, once again, quietly admitting all of the possible harms that can come from getting vaccinated. One mother told the Science Post about her son's terrible vaccine experience. I got my son fully vaccinated before I knew better, and he had a terrible childhood. He never got to stay home sick with the measles or mumps like I did when I was younger. He never got the chance to get natural immunity to chickenpox since I stupidly got him vaccinated for it. He even missed out on my Facebook group's chickenpox party. It has just been horrible. Thankfully, I managed to use Google and diagnosed him as gluten sensitive, and he also has a severe GMO allergy. So there's that. Maggie Halliburton. Terrible mother. So if you want to avoid increasing your chances of living a long and healthy life and getting gray hair, make sure to avoid vaccines at all costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a satire website, Biotech Babe. Just...
I would hope that it's recognizable by the tagline. Science, health, satire.
Yeah. Alright. So,
in the meantime,
we got a few ladies in the chat. What do your boyfriends plan on getting you for Valentine's Day?
God, I still have to plan.
What's this? Yeah. See, that's why I'm single every Valentine's Day. Don't have to plan shit.
Yeah, but I'm in a long-term relationship with someone I care about, so I have to plan stuff.
I go down to the bar and I do magic tricks for couples and get their boyfriends.
Oh,
let me finish. I go down to the
Biotech Babe. I'm a spinster with a cat. I'm assuming you're in your 20s. If you're older than 29, let me know. In which case, maybe you might be a spinster, but shut the hell up otherwise.
So, for the last, 5 years, every Valentine's Day I've been going down to the local bar and doing magic tricks for couples and scamming girls' boyfriends out of beers so that they have to buy me beer. It's been super fun. All right.
You're only 32. Shut up. You're going to college. And you're putting most of your effort into your classes. So shut up, Biotech Babe. You're not a spinster. You're just a late bloomer.
So anyway.
All right, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to segue into.
I know. But Biotech Babe just has to talk about how she's a spinster with a cat, which is not true. Heart-shaped meteorite up for auction on Valentine's Day! Check this out.
Your boyfriend's not going to get anything cool like that.
Oh, I'm not getting anything like that from Miss Rimshee. I couldn't afford it. She'd slap me if I did, too, because it'd be something to put somewhere else that we don't have room for.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me?
No.
You might want to rescind your Valentine's Day plans this year. A superior gift is about to go on sale. And it came all the way from space. British auction house Christie's is soon to open online bidding on a heart-shaped meteorite, one that plummeted to Earth over Siberia in 1947. According to Christie's, the meteorite once belonged to a colossal mass of iron that split from the asteroid belt 320 million years ago. It penetrated the Earth's atmosphere on February 12th, 1947. Breaking into smaller meteorites and blazing over Siberia's Sikhote-Alin mountains in a fireball brighter than the sun. Windows shattered, chimneys disintegrated, and trees were ripped from the ground by the shockwave resulting from the explosion of the iron mass, while sonic booms reverberated nearly 200 miles away. A 20-mile smoke trail hung in the air, while the meteorites that split apart from the main body produced almost 200 craters, while some up to 85 feet wide, the auction house said on its website. No, it's probably not big enough for you to make a sword with, Giovanna.
I don't know. I don't really have a reference for how big this fucker is.
Alright, I'll keep reading, maybe it'll say. Not all of the Sikhote-Alin meteorites are as desirable as the heart-shaped artifact up for auction, Christie says. Those that broke away from the main mass when it exploded close to the ground are jagged and twisted, more like shrapnel than a romantic-shaped paperweight. But the heart of space, as Christie's terms it, probably split apart at a far higher altitude. As a result, it's somewhat more aerodynamic and puckered with indentations known as regmaglyphs. Okay.
Stupid word.
Sarah Crowther from University of Manchester's School of Earth and Environmental Science told CNN that the specimen belongs to an uncommon group of iron meteorites known as Eob. There are currently 134 Type 2AB iron meteorites out of a total of over 60,000 known meteorites. So the type is fairly rare, Crowther said. The price does seem high for an iron meteorite, she added. Other fragments of the same meteorite retail for far less, in the range of $1 to $4 per gram, she said, whereas even the lower end of the estimated price range for this is almost $30 per gram. What's responsible for the high value of the meteorite? The shape, the regmaglyphs, and the size of the sample, Crowther said. Bids open on the meteorite obtained from New York's Makovic collection of meteorites on February 6th and conveniently closes on February 14th. It's a slightly bigger commitment than a heart-shaped box of chocolates. However, the auction house expects it to sell for somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000. If Valentine's Day is really about conspicuous displays of affection, not infection, and well, what better way to do it? And that thing is that thing.
You know, they really should have had it close on February 13th. You know? Just so that you could have it by the 14th, possibly.
You wouldn't be able to have it by the 14th because it's online bidding, which means it still needs to be shipped.
Alright. Well, they should have done it earlier, period, so that they could get it by the 14th. That's stupid.
Or you say, honey, guess what I got you for Valentine's Day? I bid on a heart-shaped meteorite, and I think I'm gonna get it. I hope I don't get sniped.
Yeah. My mom used to make extra money doing eBay shit. Fun fact, there are programs out there that will throw in your bid the last second.
Yeah, but if everyone's using that, what's the point?
Not everybody was using it at the time. It was pretty new.
It's supposed to be heart-shaped, not horse-shaped, Giovanna.
Yeah.
Although I do see chicken. I totally see chicken.
Yeah. I see it too.
Oh.
You know what you could do instead of spending all that money? You could get the latest and greatest 3D printer and make your own beautiful gift for your significant other.
Case in point.
New 3D printer shapes objects with rays of light. So, a new 3D printer uses light to transform gooey liquids into complex solid objects in only a matter of minutes. Nicknamed the Replicator by the inventors, after the Star Trek device that can materialize any object on demand. If anybody in this audience didn't know anything about the Replicator, then you don't belong in this audience. The 3D printer can create objects that are smoother, more flexible, and more complex than what is possible with traditional 3D printers. It can also encase an already existing object with new materials, for instance, adding a handle to a metal screwdriver shaft, which current printers struggle to do. Actually, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty handy. The technology has the potential to transform how
Hold on. You're not going anywhere, BioBabe. You stay right there.
Yeah. You're a mod. You can't leave. And seriously, Biotech Babe, with how much Nick and Jeff talk about Star Trek, you didn't know anything about replicators? Alright. I'm prescribing Season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. Do that this weekend. Report back on Monday. The technology has the potential to transform how products from prosthetics to eyeglass lenses are designed and manufactured, the researchers say. I think this is a route to being able to mass customize objects even more, whether they are prosthetics or running shoes, said Hayden Taylor, assistant professor of mechanical engineering at the University of California, Berkeley. Oof. The senior author of a paper describing the printer, which appears online today, January 31st, in the journal Science. The fact that you take a metallic component or something from another manufacturing process and add on customizable geometry, I think that may change the way products are designed. Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna play a little bit of this.
Okay. Let me know when
I have no idea if it has sound. Hold on. Yeah, just like little boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna mute it. But that's pretty fascinating, and you go ahead and keep reading. I'm gonna let it play at the top.
Cool. Most 3D printers, including their light-based techniques, build up 3D objects layer by layer. This leads to a stair-step effect along the edges. They also have difficulties creating flexible objects because bendable materials could deform during the printing process, and supports are required to print objects of certain shapes, like arches. The new printer relies on a viscous liquid that reacts to form a solid when exposed to a certain threshold of light. Projecting carefully crafted patterns of light, essentially movies, onto a rotating cylinder of liquid solidifies the desired shape all at once. Basically, you've got an off-the-shelf video projector, which I literally brought in from home, and then you plug it into a laptop and use it to project a series of computed images while a motor turns the cylinder that has a 3D printing resin in it. Taylor said, obviously there are a lot of subtleties to it, how you formulate the resin, and above all, how you compute the images that are going to be projected, but the barrier to creating a very simple version of this tool is not that high. That's really nice. That's pretty cool. Taylor and the team used the printer to create a series of objects from a tiny model of Rodin's the Thinker. Statue is a customized jawbone model. Currently, they can make objects up to 4 inches in diameter. This is the first case where we don't need to build up custom 3D parts layer by layer, said Brett Kelly, a co-first author on the paper, who completed the work while a graduate student working jointly at UC Berkeley and Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. It makes 3D printing truly three-dimensional. Okay. This reminds me of that other 3D printer that they were talking about using, where you basically have like a bucket of sand, and light passes through the bucket, and then you can come out with like a wrench. But this seems a lot more practical.
Yeah, it seems a lot more practical. The only issue I see is it seems like it's very limited in its size capability.
Well, yeah, of course, starting off it's going to be. This is literally brand new.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's just been, like, information about it's just been released to the public yesterday.
Yeah.
So, a CT scan in reverse. The new printer was inspired by the computer tomography, CT, scans that help doctors locate tumors and fractures within the body. CT scans project X-rays or other types of electromagnetic radiation into the body from all different angles. Analyzing the patterns of transmitted energy reveals the geometry of the object. Essentially, we reversed that principle, Taylor said. We are trying to create an object rather than measure an object. But actually, a lot of the underlying theory that enables us to do this can be translated from the theory that underlies computed tomography. Besides patterning the light, which requires complex calculations to the exact shapes and intensities right, the other major challenge faced by the researchers was how to formulate a material that stays liquid when exposed to a little bit of light, but reacts to form a solid when exposed to a lot of light. The liquid that you don't want to cure is certainly having rays of light pass through it. So there needs to be a threshold of light exposure for the transition from liquid to solid, Taylor said. The 3D printing resin is composed of liquid polymers mixed with photosensitive molecules and dissolved oxygen. Light activates the photosensitive compound, which depletes the oxygen, and in those 3D regions where the oxygen has been used up, do the polymers form the crosslinks that transform the resin from a liquid to a solid. Unused resin can be recycled by heating it up in an oxygen atmosphere. Oh, okay. Our technique generates almost no material waste, and uncured material is 100% reusable, said Hassan Haidari. That's really cool. A graduate student in Taylor's lab at UC Berkeley and co-first author of the work. This is another advantage that comes with support-free 3D printing. The objects also don't have to be transparent. The researchers printed objects that appear to be opaque using a dye that transmits light at the curing wavelength but absorbs most other wavelengths. This is particularly satisfying for me because it creates a new framework of volumetric or all-at-once 3D printing that we have begun to establish over the recent years, said Maxim Shustev, a staff engineer at Livermore Lab. We hope this will open the way for many other researchers to explore this exciting technology area. That's sweet. Alright. Yeah, that's super cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Of course, Once everybody gets a 3D printer, we're gonna have to start instituting a universal basic income, but we can talk about that another time.
Well, we'd start paying each other in the resin or the filament or whatever the medium is.
Maybe.
Currency would change.
We're getting closer to Star Trek, okay? That's cool enough.
Why the hell is this being stupid?
No, because you'd still need food and everything. You'd still need money for food. But it's like everyday object you're not going to need money for.
Computer decided to get rid of our next article.
Oh. Uh-oh. I really wanted you to read this one, because you're the one that has the, what was it, 0.2% black?
I'm pulling it up now. We're talking about the glacial hole.
I thought we were talking about colonization and climate change.
Oh, you're right. That one dipped out somewhere. There it is. Pulling it up because stupid stuff is stupid. Well, you already know that we're talking about climate change next. Alright.
Before we do this, I do have to explain the polar vortex because I'm fucking tired of this climate change.
No,
discussion
wait for it. Wait for it.
Year.
We will go through this one, and we will talk about it next. Between this one and NASA.
Okay.
Or I will, so help me God, I will burn you down. Colonization of the Americas killed so many people that Earth cooled down when abandoned land became overgrown and sucked carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. What?
Yeah. Yeah, Y2KW. They are.
Estimated 56 million people died from 1492 to apparently I've got this minor headache that I have is it is really
dementia?
messing with me. I will be right. My pantsless self will be right back. I am going to get water to drink.
I think this is dementia. He is an old man.
I don't drink. I swear to Christ. Actually, I don't know if they can hear me.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? Yeah, and Y2KW. Yep. We're making the case that we should commit genocide. As awful as that sounds, it's the only way to solve this global warming issue. I think we'd be good around about 1,000 people. I think we'll be good. Everybody can get a tank. Get all your guns. Plenty of food for everyone. Yeah. I think that's good.
Alright, where was I? Hopefully not dead.
At the beginning of the article.
Deaths saw a rise in unattached agricultural land. What? Says University College of London. Area the size of France then became hosts to miles of trees and unkempt foliage. This change reduced the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere by 7 to 10 parts per million. Which, by the way, I looked it up. There's less than 1%, I think it's something like 0.04% of the atmosphere is CO2 in all reality. Oxygen's something like 20.8%. Anyway. European colonization of the Americas led to so many deaths among indigenous peoples that the global global climate briefly cooled as a result. According to a shocking new study, researchers estimate the arrival of Europeans in 1492 caused roughly 56 million deaths by the year 1600. due to disease, conflict, and slavery. Mass deaths, in turn, resulted in the reforestation of landscapes that were left abandoned. As swaths of agricultural land became overgrown, the new trees and foliage absorbed higher levels of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, sparking what's now casually referred to as a Little Ice Age. Experts believe the influx of Europeans and the outbreak of war in the 15th century sparked an environmental shift which literally lowered the local temperature. The devastating depopulation of indigenous people across North, Central, and South America during the 16th century has come to be known as the Great Dying. What a fucking lazy name.
Yeah.
In total, it's estimated that European colonization wiped out 90% of the indigenous population at the time, or 10% of the world's population. The resulting effect rippled out into the surrounding environment. The great dying of the indigenous peoples of the Americas led to the abandonment of enough cleared land that the resulting terrestrial carbon uptake had a detectable impact on both atmospheric CO2 and global surface air temperatures, says study author Alexander Koch, University College London. Is he the third Koch brother?
Maybe.
The unknown Koch.
Here's the thing about CO2 in our atmosphere. It's not the only greenhouse gas.
In fact, there are others that are worse.
Yeah.
It's just the most plentiful.
Yeah. Carbon monoxide. Pretty bad.
Less popular. Less common. So here's this map of stuff. Yeah, methane's bad too.
Methane. Cow farts. Sorry. Cow farts are a big issue for our global warming issues.
Yeah, so do your part. Kill and eat a cow.
Kill cows. Yeah, kill the cows.
The team studied population data from
wait. Instead of genociding people, we'll just genocide cows. Wait,
no.
You can already do that.
The team studied population data from 1492 onward to see the impact of conflict and disease. Settlers and soldiers carried European diseases like smallpox, measles, typhoid, and the flu, which ravaged communities. And it didn't all happen at once. The researchers say the depopulation of the Americas is unique, in that disease epidemics surged in multiple waves. Those who survived influenza may later have succumbed to smallpox, while those who survived both may have caught a later wave of measles. The researchers write in the new study published in the Journal of... no, fuck you. As a consequence... it's probably real easy. I don't want to deal with it. As a consequence of these fatalities, land the size of France was subsequently abandoned, lowering the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere by 7 to 10 ppm. 7 to 10 molecules of CO2 in every 1 million molecules in the air.
Okay. So, I just want to address Y2K and W. According to PETA, we're already genociding animals, but PETA's also genociding animals and stealing them off of people's porches, so... Hypocrite.
Yeah. Oh, there's this little green text of, what was the great dying of America's indigenous people? Oh no.
I think we all know about this.
Skipping that shit to put...
Don't accept blankets from strangers. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, I agree, Biotech Babe. Who the fuck wrote this? To put that in the modern context, we basically burn fossil fuels and produce about 3 parts per million per year, said co-author Professor Mark Maslin. Maslin? Fuckface. So we're talking a large amount of carbon that's being sucked out of the atmosphere. There is a marked cooling around that time, 1500s to 1600s, which is called the Little Ice Age. And what's interesting is that we can see natural processes giving a little bit of cooling, but actually to get the full cooling, double the natural processes, you have to have this genocide-generated drop in CO2, the researchers said. Previous research has calculated that by 1610, forests had reclaimed much of the continent. Forests are more effective at absorbing carbon dioxide than crops, and therefore the reforestation of farmland would have led to a drop in carbon dioxide. You're assuming that they farm like we do, or they did farm like we do, which they didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Few things about global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it. For one, if you are researching anything, there's a cool little trick you can do with Google. It's scholar.google.com. And that will give you accredited websites where you can find legitimate information that's been studied. A lot of people constantly forget about that or don't know about it. Another thing, the reason why we have this polar vortex is because North Pole getting a little bit warmer, and that warmer air is pushing cold air down. That's why it gets cold down here, still. That's the simplest way I can put it. There.
Well put.
Yeah.
Alright. So, this next article is yours since we're talking about the Arctic.
Yeah. Second time we're talking about holes.
Better
south. NASA discovered a disturbing glacier hole 2/3 the size of Manhattan. A new study from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory found that 14 billion tons of ice have almost entirely disappeared from Thwaites Glacier in the last 3 years. Climate change is wreaking havoc in Earth's remotest corners. At the Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica, scientists found a massive cavity, roughly 2/3 the area of Manhattan, that has been growing in the ice for decades. The hole lurks beneath the surface of the Florida-sized glacier and measures 1,000 feet from top to bottom, scientists said in a study published on Wednesday in Science Advances. The study was led by researchers from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the University of California, Irvine, the German Aerospace Center, and France's University Grenoble Alps. As we all know... Oh, sweet. Thanks, Biotech Babe. DM it to me.
No porn on the job, Jables. That's sexual harassment.
It's a Photoshop. Might be porn, might not. I'm saying either way. As we all know, this is just a cover-up to scare people away from going to Antarctica and discovering the ice wall that goes around the flat Earth. Obviously. The cavity was revealed by data from NASA's Operation Icebridge and spaceborne radar projects that documented Thwaites' behavior between 1992 and 2017. No pushback on that one, Rimshee?
No, not right now.
Yeah. Okay. Pietro Melillo, a radar scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and lead author on the study, called it a disturbing discovery. No, it's a flat Earth inside a hollow Earth, Giovanna. Get your shit together. This hole is big enough to have contained 14 billion tons of ice. Melillo told Motherboard in an email. To compare these numbers on a human scale, 1 billion tons is the water consumption of the city of Los Angeles in 1 year. Yeah, but Los Angeles, they also like to have rich people that like to keep their lawns green.
For no reason.
Yeah, plant some cactuses. Get fucked. Antarctic researchers have known about Thwaites' weak underbelly for decades. Even so, the authors suspect the cavity's size and melt rate have been underestimated by previous models. The glacier's runoff is responsible for up to 10% of annual global sea level rise. Damn, that's quite a bit. According to estimates from the National Science Foundation, if Thwaites melted entirely, the world's oceans could rise by nearly 2 feet. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if it rises by 2 feet, that's like, what is that, like a mile of land that'll be covered on all coasts?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it depends on how quickly the landmass rises. Like, if it rises by 2 feet, I know plenty of beaches that would, you just lose the beach itself.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh no, we lost 100 square feet.
Yeah.
Or something.
Tracking ice loss is no simple feat. Antarctic glaciers are often too big and too isolated to accurately measure from the ground. Instead, the team used a fleet of low Earth orbit satellites and planes equipped with ice-penetrating radar. Is that word penetrated again?
Oh, baby.
Longer waits over time.
This is my
What
hole.
this
It
revealed-
was made for me.
What this revealed was different mechanisms of retreat. Okay. For the cavity looms on the glacier's western front is grounding line, the point where Thwaites affixes to the continental shelf. It's a shelf. That's obviously there's a wall. Has been detached from the bedrock at a rate of 0.4 to 0.5 miles per year since 1992, according to the study. The cycle is perpetuated as the hole grows. As more water and heat get trapped beneath the ice, the faster it melts. Most of the 14 billion tons of ice disappeared within the last 3 years, according to the study. To the east, Thwaites' grounding line recedes through small channels, like fingers reaching beneath the glacier to melt it from below. Melillo described here, the rate of retreat has quickened from 0.4 miles a year between 1992 and 2011 to 0.8 miles a year from 2011 to 2017. However, Thwaites' western region is still melting faster than its eastern one. Plenty of things are responsible for the retreat, such as topography, thinning ice, and melt brought on by masses of warm, salty ocean water. Ice-ocean interactions are more complex than previously understood, Melillo said. American and British science agencies recently embarked on a 5-year expedition to Thwaites in an effort to better understand its terrifying potential for sea level rise on a massive scale. How much? How fast? That's our mantra. Robert Larder, a scientist with the British Antarctic Survey.
Did you just call him a scientific?
Yep. These are the questions we're asking about Thwaites. Thwaites connects the West Antarctic ice sheet, which has also lost ice at an unprecedented pace. Separate research suggests that large swaths have retreated to the point of no return, and the whole West Antarctic ice sheet could raise global sea levels by 10 feet. In the near future, Melillo expects that a new generation of satellites will be capable of providing more accurate and more frequent measurements over the entire Antarctica and Greenland.
Is Melillo what happens when Milo levels up?
Maybe.
That's a scary thought. Is it weird that that's the only thing I can think of?
One second.
Yeah, of course you're looking at tits.
I'm not looking at tits.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Biotech, babe, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't do Photoshop. If you want me to do something... Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, God, you're doing stuff. I think you should read the next article.
Why should I read it?
Because look at which one it is.
I know which one it is.
Yeah, you're reading it because I'm reading the very last one.
Oh. Alright. Dibs or dibs. Alright, it's time for everybody's favorite game of does this satire article apply to Jable? Alright. By the way, if you guys find satire articles that you think could apply to me, DM them to Rimshee. Because I'm tired of trying to find ones that may or may not apply to me based on headlines. Alright. Local man thought he saw you at that show, but wasn't sure and didn't want to be weird, so he's just saying hi and making sure. Chicago. Local man Dylan O'Hays messaged you on Facebook early this morning to confirm whether or not he saw you at that show this weekend, and to clarify that if he did, he only didn't say hi because he didn't want to be weird. Eyewitness confirmed. I needed to make sure I had the right person, somehow. The uncertainty of not knowing was killing me. I desperately needed an answer, but I didn't want to be weird about it, recalled O'Hays after typing the objectively shitty message that offered no context. So naturally, I messaged you. Hey, at 2 a.m., just to see what was up, and if you were at the show. And maybe to see if, like, you wanted to see some funny memes I made or something. God damn it. No, they don't necessarily have to be satire. The brief and unsolicited correspondence was reportedly the last thing you saw before going to sleep. I never even saw it coming, you claimed, still upset when reached for comment. It all happened so fast. 1 minute, I was just sitting there, peaceful, minding my own business. The next thing I know, this complete dildo is messaging me. I wish I never opened, because he could see I read it right away. And then the text bubble popped up that he was typing again. That's when I shut my phone off for the night. Experts claim your incident is just the latest in an increasingly serious epidemic plaguing seagulls just trying to live their lives. Talking to someone in person can be a Herculean task for people who grow up in the internet age, said relationship expert Tiana Frazier. Instead of striking up conversation at a bar, now most people opt for a vague message with exorbitant emojis to get someone's attention, the leading cause of complaints in Instagram stories. Despite your complete radio silence, however, Hayes is reportedly still confident that you might be down to chat. I mean, when I sent that message, I was absolutely gone off. 2 tall boys and feeling brave, he said while checking his phone. You never answered, so I'm not sure if that was who I thought it was. But I'll keep checking until I hear back. Yeah. So, press 1 in the chat if it's me, press 2 if it's not.
I don't know, that sounds... That sounds too vague. Like, yes and no. It's just too vague.
I can only do so much.
Pardon me. Yeah, we'll let everyone figure that out. Meanwhile, let's read this next article. If you want to hear something kind of weird, I got one for you. Yeah, they're saying 3. So both. Let's talk about Chicago again, which coincidentally had nothing to do with this article being selected. Despite the fact that it says Chicago right there. Chicago! When it's this cold, Chicago sets its train tracks on fire. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's colder in the Midwest right now than it is on Mars.
Chicago residents are a hardy bunch. They know how to keep things moving when the weather turns cold. But what about when it's this cold? Like wind chill of 50 below zero cold. Getting around is a lot tougher. When that happens, the folks who keep the commuter trains running in the Windy City employ a hot idea. They set the train tracks on fire.
Yep.
Flames were seen sprouting from the tracks of Chicago's Metra commuter rail system on Tuesday. Metra isn't literally setting the tracks ablaze, spokesman Michelle Gills told CNN. The flames actually come from gas-fed heaters that run alongside the rails to keep them warm. Metra also uses a tubular heating system and hot air blowers to heat up cold track. Anytime it's below freezing, we're using these, said Gills, who said other rail systems in Northern America use similar systems.
Chicago's a weird place. They're lighting their river on fire. They're lighting their train tracks on fire. Fucking insane.
Why? Tracks are affected by extreme cold in two ways. In some cases, the tracks experience what's called pull-aparts. This kind of rail defect occurs when two rails separate at their connection. The extreme cold shrinks the metal, and the rail literally pulls apart from each other. Metra said in a recent Instagram post, heating the tracks with fire expands the metal until the two rails can be put back together again. Look at that fucking fire.
Mad Max Fury train tracks.
Railroad switching points can also become clogged with ice and snow in sub-zero conditions. So the heating system is used to unclog them. Maintenance crews light the heaters by hand and can control the flow of gas, Metra said. The crew members working 12-hour shifts remain in the area when the heating systems are being used so they can monitor the flames. Because, Chicago being lit on fire would be a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. Or something. I'm gonna look at this spec.
What are you looking at?
Don't worry about it.
I'm definitely worried about it. I drink a lot. I don't know if somebody's sending you my dick pics or not.
No, it's not a dick pic. Oh, God. Anyway, continuing on with this, and maybe we'll look at that article. A few railroad ties are sometimes damaged by the heat, but this method is a lot safer than the one the rail system used to employ to thaw frozen tracks. Crews previously used pots filled with kerosene, stuck them in spaces between the track ties, and lit them by hand. We all used to carry this stuff. I called it skunk oil, said John Mayer, Metra's director of engineering, said on the rail system's website. We poured it in a 2-gallon can, poured it out, then threw the match in it, and it started a fire along all the rails. We're talking in the mid-70s. Nowadays, you get in big trouble for doing that. Metra says it's safe to run the trains over the flames because the diesel fuel in the trains combusts only with pressure and heat, not open flames.
What?
All right.
Okay.
That's the end of the article.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. You know what?
Fire.
Since Doc Brown's train was mentioned, and talked about Antarctica a little bit, let's go back in time. Talk about the Lizard King that ruled Antarctica.
Alright, which one's that?
There you go.
Oh, okay. No, there it is. Go ahead, my man!
Hold on.
Oh, don't be a pussy.
Well, I have to add it to the description real quick.
Yeah, well, you can wait till after we're done, you little shit.
No, because I'm going to forget. That's why most of the videos don't have the news articles in the description.
You are not the Lizard King biotech, babe. You are not a lizardkin.
Alright. Millions of years before the ground trembled under the footfalls of T-Rex, the so-called king of the dinosaurs, a forested Antarctica was home to an iguana-sized lizard king. Iguana-sized? That's not that big. Lame. Jim Morrison of Antarctica. This ancient reptile was an archosaur. Part of the same groups that would later include dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and crocodilians. I like that word, crocodilian. Scientists recently discovered a partial skeleton of the lizard dating back to 250 million years ago, a time when Antarctica was bursting with plant and animal life. Not only does the fossil of this former king provide a sharper picture of the forest landscape in long-ago Antarctica, it also helps to explain the evolutionary landscape following the biggest mass extinction in Earth's history, scientists reported in a new study. Antarctica, the ice-covered bottom of the world. Though the lizard fossil is incomplete, researchers were able to tell from the fused vertebrae that the animal was an adult reptile, and it likely measured about 4 to 5 feet. No, I'd hardly call that a lizard. They dubbed it Antarctanax Shackletoni. Okay. Gotta get better at this naming system, guys. The first part of its name comes from the Greek words Antarctic King. The second part is a nod to pioneering British polar explorer Ernest Shackleton. Shackletoni. Okay. Who named the Beardmore Glacier, where many Antarctic fossils, including Antarctanax, have recently been found following an expedition in 1908. Shiitake. Alright, where was I? Subtle features in the bones of the lizard's spine and feet indicated that it was a new species, and its foot shape suggested that it lived on the ground, scampering over the forest floor. Lead study author Brandon Peacock. Sorry. That's an unfortunate name. A Meeker.
At least he didn't put pee in his eyes.
Yeah. Oh, god damn. Who else saw the Wingnut Roundup? Raise your hands. A Meeker postdoctoral fellow at the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago told Life Science. It doesn't have any adaptations in its feet that would make us think it lived in the trees or that it's a burrower, Peacock said. Alright. Well, that's a sudden end to the first part of that article. Widespread forests. Those trees might be hard to picture if you imagine Antarctica as it is today. A frozen, mostly lifeless, ice-covered desert. But hundreds of millions of years ago, Antarctica hosted a warm, wet environment where temperatures rarely, if ever, dipped below freezing, the study authors reported. We have evidence of widespread forests all over the place, and big rivers moving through those forests, Peacock said. Roaming among the trees and rivers were amphibians, mammal relatives called cynodonts, other mammal-like predators called dicynodonts that had tusks and beaks, and reptiles like Antarctanax, he added. But this fossil also contributes to an important evolution story. With the discovery of this previously unknown ancient reptile, researchers are piecing together the unexpected archosaur diversity that arose shortly after the Permian mass extinction, a cataclysmic event about 252 million years ago that wiped out around 96% of all marine species and approximately 70% of terrestrial vertebrates. Scientists previously thought that after that global extinction event, it took many millions of years for animals to diversify and fill the planet's empty niche. But Antarctinax shows that archosaurs began diversifying within just a couple of million years after the Permian extinction, according to the study. If you look in the earliest rocks of the Triassic, archosaurs and other groups are radiating explosively, Peacock told Life Science. While Antarctinax's iguana-like body may not seem especially dramatic, some Triassic reptiles evolved to soar through the skies as pterosaurs, while others turned to the seas and eventually evolved into enormous ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. And their ancestors were likely emerging at the same time as the Antarctinax, he explained. The existence of Antarctinax in the early Triassic implies that all other crazy lineages must have existed at this point already, even if we don't have a good fossil record of them from this time, Peacock said. Findings were published online yesterday, January 31st, in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology. Been a good week for science, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys... Yeah.
Like, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more articles we could go over, but we've only got, like, 12 minutes left.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to talk? How's your guys' week been?
Yeah, let's finish this up with talking about you, because you guys are the most important things in our life.
Well, yeah, everybody I see in the chat right now, they come every week. Love you guys. Thank you.
Best.
I appreciate it.
Always the best.
The best around.
Just don't let Jables touch you.
Whoa.
I know you, Jables. The only person more handsy than you is Pav.
Not that handsy.
Mm-hmm. I was there. You're the one who shoved your tongue in his mouth.
I did not. I did no such thing. Fake news. Fake news. Online model drugs and alcohol policy for the third fucking time in 3 months.
That sounds wonderful. Like I said, I had to deal with California mandated sexual harassment bullshit.
Man, I'm so glad my job doesn't drug test.
They will now.
Yeah, nah. They didn't even drug test me to hire me on. But we also didn't have an HR at the time, so...
Like I said.
Telecommunication stuff all week. Yeah, you know what? Me too. I have a boss that's supposed to buy me a bottle of whiskey.
I could use some sexual harassment to make me feel appreciated.
Mm-hmm. A little tickle of the pickle. Never hurt anybody.
Oh god, I wish I knew that clip. They actually used a pretty good clip for sexual harassment. It's got, oh fuck, what's his face who plays Ross from Friends in it as the boss and some chick as the assistant or whatever. And it's all good. It's like, this is kind of awkward, but it's not saying, oh my god, he's shoving his tongue down her throat.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try looking it up, but this is fucking funny. Let's see. Guy from Ross from Friends. What?
I think I found it.
Ross from Friends is apparently a music producer.
Let me, check your DMs, is that it?
Yeah!
I'm a god.
No, it's actually really, really funny. Like, it just hits 0 to 60 so fucking quick. Like, some of it could be like, okay, I could see why someone might think negatively of that, but she seems to be handling herself just fine. and
Are you gonna
he's
play it?
no.
Oh.
All right, fine.
It's only a minute 57. We still have like 8 minutes until
I really believe in you.
we have to be done.
It's playing shush.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool.
Oh, this isn't all of it. I'm gonna try and find the full thing.
Ah, man, it's a whole art. Okay, hold on. Is this it?
Like, it starts with her recovering data on his... This might be...
Try that one.
Yeah, this is probably it.
Hey, Paul.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. I can't find the McGinnis file. I keep losing it. I mean, I don't know. Is it me?
No, I don't know. Hold on. Don't be silly. Oh, that's weird.
Right? It just
Wait.
it keeps disappearing.
You gained a father-in-law this week? What the
Okay, hold
fuck?
on, we're gonna find it.
Hold on. Oh, you gained the title father-in-law. I thought it said you gained a little father-in-law. It's like... How'd you get... You have kids? You have kids that are old enough to get married? What the fuck, Spect?
Alright, let's continue with this. This is actually just... Oh, mundane. It doesn't matter if we get hit anyway. Fuck it.
Haven't eaten since lunch.
They're gonna be monitored. As long as it's not a strike. It's
Here
a
it is.
claim.
Where?
Oh, well, congratulations
For now.
to your
It was in the
daughter.
damages file. It didn't have its own file like the rest of the families in the lawsuit. But
Is this
I'm just
is this a
gonna
video of how
order
your
this
daughter
to-
and now husband
Thank
met?
you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Oh, thanks, my dad.
Oh, really? You're very sweet.
Cute. All right. If you're done, I'm gonna get going.
Oh, yeah. Where you headed?
I mean, we'll pause periodically, but it's just... This is what they used in the lesson.
Yeah,
No, we're just home.
that's
Well,
interesting.
I'll take you.
Oh my goodness, no! Don't be silly.
At least
no,
California
it's no
uses
problem.
real
I'm outta
actors
here.
for
No,
their
it's fine. It's
No,
fine.
I'll
their
drop
training
you.
I'm
videos.
4
It's
stops
not-
away in the queue. I'm like.
I don't know
totally
that this
fine.
is a training video. I feel like
Yeah.
this
Well,
is
you don't-
from
You
something.
don't get bothered? all
like
the
a
time?
PSA.
Yeah.
No, I listen. I put in my headphones and I listen to my music, and then
Nice.
yeah, I just go in my own little world. It kind of clears my head. It's nice.
Actually, you know what? That sounds really nice. No, I should
Once
probably
again, at
join
least
you
your
on the
state
train.
has real actors to
Clear my
use.
head.
Yeah.
Get one of those splitters, you know, headphone.
Like right here,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, this is a little weird.
So you're I mean, you're happy here? Everything good? I mean, you're
Oh
happy
wow,
here?
yeah, for
Everything
sure,
good?
yeah. I've been great.
I mean, you're comfortable? Everyone treating you right?
Yeah,
Yes,
everybody's
yes, he
been
is.
Just
Excellent
great.
portrayal
I
of
mean,
a
like,
male
I feel
feminist.
really lucky to be here. Me too.
I mean, even though, I mean, there was, you know, a contingency that were like, you know, they wanted someone older with more experience. It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I
Right?
mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before
Such a long
yeah,
video.
so the same-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
It was painful to watch, but it
No, I
gets
just-
good
I
here
just want you to know
soon.
that I really believe in you. You know?
Encourage
Oh
me.
shit, there's like a full minute of end credits.
Someone-
Yeah.
These are cool. Did you, what did
Like, this is horrible to laugh at, but I mean, I know it's fake, so it's
Sorry,
cool.
I have a boyfriend.
No, that's okay. I'm married. I mean, I was just trying to show you how much I appreciate you, you know? I do.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Very, very awkward hug.
It's not
I
even
just
a hug. He's just holding her arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
sorry.
it goes from
okay.
stuff
I
that can be
don't
brushed
I don't
off to
wanna make you
yeah, no,
uncomfortable.
this is
No,
straight
that's
up
not
sexual
my style.
I know,
harassment.
and it's fine. So I'm
No,
gonna
I can
just,
see.
I'm gonna go.
I can see it's not fine. You're not fine. Listen, I want things to be comfortable between us.
No,
Okay.
it's
Alrighty then.
okay.
No,
I
I
know,
feel
I
it's
know.
not. I feel it's not okay,
So-
and I really am sorry. I want to make it okay.
What do you guys think?
Okay.
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 Just
Okay.
are we?
What would you do in that
Are we good?
situation?
We're
Well,
Nothing happened.
I wouldn't be in that
nothing
situation
happened.
because
All
I'm
right?
not a male
I was
feminist.
showing. You know what it was?
Ah.
I just want to show you how
Step
great you are,
one,
how
don't
good-
be a male
how good you
feminist.
are.
Thank
Got
you.
it.
Okay.
And that's all. Okay, we're
That's
good.
probably
We're
generally
friends?
a good first
Friends?
step in general.
We're friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, let's hug.
I don't think
Let's
so.
hug.
No,
Let's
let's end this
hug.
properly. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's hug.
Here.
Fucking gross.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
It's all
All right.
just fucking
I'll
gross.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Sure.
You know what?
We
Hey,
let it play
keep
this
talking.
long. May as well play the
Hey.
credits, and we can just
Walk
talk over them.
C. Stick it in. Oh, God. Don't do that. That's super male feminist ally. Alright. You know what? It's about that time.
Yeah. Oh shit! This has been around a while. This was posted in 2017. I don't know when this was actually made.
Probably 2016.
Yeah, who knows?
Alright. So,
All right.
with that,
So we've talked about sexual harassment. Don't do it.
yep. There's our PSA, guys. Don't shove your tongue down women's throats at the workplace, especially.
Don't try and force them to hug you, especially if you're their boss.
Yes. Don't try to force them to hug you if they've already pushed back, because that's more awkward.
Don't block
should
them
do.
from walking out of the room. That is considered sexual harassment.
If you find yourself in a situation like this and you were getting vibes that weren't actually there, apologize.
And let her
Explain
go.
that you thought. Apologize. Explain that you thought that there were vibes that there weren't. Apologize again. Let her go.
Don't do anything else stupid. It would be best if you reported it to HR. Say, hey, this happened.
Yeah,
I mean-
like that kid who got drunk at a party, slept with a drunk girl. The very next morning, woke up before her, went down to the Title IX office, and claimed rape on her before she could claim it on him, just in case she regretted it. That dude's a fucking champ.
Oh, the other funny factor is that she had done that to one of his friends earlier on.
Yeah, that's why he did it.
I
So-
hear that's a possible reason he did it, but I don't know. But yeah, it's about that time. Have a good one, everyone.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see you again next week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out the YouTube Saints in about half an hour. If you're not a part of the Discord, which all of you already are, that I can see, link is in the description.
If
Link to the YouTube
if
Saints is in the
you're watching
description.
this recorded and you're not part of the Discord, link is down in the description. Join.
Yep.
We are
YouTube Saints channel link is down in the description. Locked and Loaded, which is every Monday. That link's in the description. Blah 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 blah. If any of the articles you want to check out for yourself, maybe look at the sources and whatnot. All those links are in the description. Follow me on Twitter. Like the stream, please. That helps us bump up in the algorithm, or dislike it. Interaction is interaction, honestly. Yeah, have a good night, everybody. I
have
love
a
you.
good night. End transition.
the way that it was initially